Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to the Danny Danae Show. I am Danielle Danae, aka Danny Danae, and I've got a lot to say. So let's get into it. Now, what is reality? Let's talk about it. So, when I say what is reality, I mean, what is really real? Are you real? Am I real? Um, Is anybody real? Is anybody real? Or are we just characters in somebody's book? Are we just characters in a game, council? Are we puppets being played for a show? I have these questions in my head, and I will say these are all conspiracies, but I don't know. I'm like, they could be true. I'm gonna go down the list of all of them, and you might find some far fetched. You might find some that might be a little that could be true. You could what's the word? You could find them being true. I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna go through all of them, and yeah, but I really want you to think about it. Like, who told us that we were here first on this earth and that earth is a real thing and there's no other intelligent life out there? Or if there are, we are the most intelligent out of all of them. So like I said, I have these questions all the time. I dream about this type of stuff all the time. So it's not far fetched to me, but it might be far fetched to you. But that's okay. I want you to still stick around and listen to me because these are just my daily thoughts and I want to share them with you guys. Okay. But you got to sit and think about this stuff because, you guys know the show, The Truman Show, or the movie, The Truman Show, pardon me, that came out a little while ago. I think it came out in like 1998 when I was born, actually. And so if you don't know what The Truman Show is or what it was a movie about a man who was born and put on a TV set. So his whole life was a TV show and he didn't know it. So everybody was fake around him. Everybody was playing a part and he was thinking that was the real world. And I could only question when I saw that movie. I was like, oh, like, is this our reality too? Like, you gotta realize, like, movies in Hollywood, they don't just come out of thin air. That, like, they're just not, some idea somebody maybe randomly came up with. I find that harder to believe. I think there's some truth to a lot of all these movies they put out, and I think it's true. I think we're being played, especially in Hollywood. I live in Los Angeles, y'all know. I know everything's fake out here. A lot of things are like a fake, like we're on a set, and everybody's a character out here. But I mean, in the whole world, like, what if even the everyday people that live in everyday cities, eat everyday food, live everyday lifestyles, we're all in, we're all being watched by somebody up by a whole group of people that we know nothing about, a group of people we've never seen and that are just watching us every second of the day. This Truman Show streamed, I think all day, every day, 24 hours a day. What if there's someone watching our every move? Now, I know people like to, put out there, phones are listening to us and, the CIA is kind of watching us, but I'm talking past that, guys. I'm talking about people looking down at us like God watching us. I think that might be an actual thing. And then there's shows like The Matrix, right? Where there's the real world, and then there's this world, these agents have engineered us into believing is real. And if you haven't seen The Matrix, I don't know how you have gone your whole life without seeing The Matrix. I really don't know how you gone your whole life seeing The Truman Show, but I give grace to people with The Truman Show because I just watched that not too long ago. So, but The Matrix, I actually also didn't watch that too long ago. But whatever, I grew up very sheltered, which I feel like the majority of people hasn't. So if you haven't seen The Matrix, that's crazy. But I will tell you about it if you haven't. It's okay. because like I said, I just kind of witnessed it too. But no, The Matrix is about um a guy named Neos, I think his name is. Correct me guys if I'm wrong. Um and he gets an option. He's experiencing this fake world that these agents are in, and Morpheus comes to him. And he's like, gives him two pills, a red pill and a blue pill. And I think red pill is the real life pill. I'm thinking just because red, real, I don't know. They both start with R. I'm thinking it was the red. I don't know if it's the red or blue pill, but I think it was really the red pill. Um, but the red pill has him to believe, has him to experience what real life is, and then the blue pill is remaining in bliss and remaining in this fake world, like I said, that these agents created for them. So yeah, he decides to be red pill. He decides to experience the real world, and then when he experiences the real world, it's like it's not all glitz and glam. It's a struggle. It's um it's just not great. It's gloomy. It's dark. It's, these agents, the are not the agents, pardon me, these people that have also experienced the real world, not the fake world, are now are in hiding, because these agents that are part of this fake world don't want people to wake up. They want people to remain in their fake reality so that they can control them. So I say all that to say, I think I think there's people that are higher up than us, elitists, that are putting us in this fake world, quote unquote, to speak, and so that we don't experience another reality. Like every day, I don't know if any other people out there, like when I wake up sometimes, I question my head, like, is this real? Am I alive? Like, I'll even pinch myself and be like, yo, because something about my life doesn't feel real. I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like I'm still in a dream. And I'll have like real dreams when I go to sleep. I'll wake up from dreams I've had asleep. But it's crazy that I'll wake up still feeling like I'm in one. I don't know if anybody else feels that way, but I felt that way a lot throughout my whole life. So I wonder why that is. I wonder where that feeling stems from. Is it just programming? Am I delusional? Am I a conspiracy theorist? But no, like I question so much in this world because the way our world is now, I'm questioning everything with our politicians, from our politicians being corrupt, our government being corrupt. Like it's valid to ask questions, I feel like, because everybody's lying. Everybody's lying about everything. So yeah. So like I said, a fake world, a real world, somewhere there's somewhere else. There's another world out there that we don't know about. I feel like that could be a very valid thing, you know? And maybe even get this. What if the real world is something we experience only when we die? Maybe when we die, death, we experience what we're actually meant to be on this world, and realize that our whole life on earth was just, you know, I don't know, just a test run for what it was about to be, for what it really is. Wouldn't that be crazy? Now, I'm a Christian. You guys know I'm a Christian. I've been that way almost my whole life, but I was raised on Christianity, but I accepted Christ for myself and all that at a young age as well. And Christians believe in heaven and hell, absolutely. But I could absolutely be wrong. I'm the type of person that will admit if I'm wrong about something, I'm wrong about it, you know? And but also another question about heaven and hell. What if heaven and hell are the real worlds and earth is just, like I said, the test run before we get there? What if heaven is the real world looking down on us? Those people looking down on the angels are people looking down on us on this quote unquote fake world every day. Now Christians also believe, what I'm saying to kind of actually be true. Like, Christians, we aren't the way of the world, we're the way of God. And, heaven is where we really want to be anyway. That's very real for us, absolutely. But for the everyday person, I want them to think back, think about this really, really well, and you know, question, is Earth real? Like everything we're experiencing. Like I really want you to think about the Matrix, because in the Matrix, there's a scene where this man is eating a steak, knowing it's not a real steak, and he's just like, my mind is telling me the steak is good. And there, I'm looking at the steak, and my eyes are telling me it's good, but it's really fake. What if everything around us is fake? The food we're eating, we're just told to believe it's good, and in bad food, we're told to believe it's nasty. But it's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. Wouldn't that be crazy? Like we're living in the Matrix in real time. Wouldn't that be insane, guys? I want you to think about it. Um, yeah, I think, wouldn't it be crazy? I think it's crazy that what if we're on a stage? We're on a stage performing for these higher ups, these people above us. The humanity show. It's like it's so funny. Like I think about this type of stuff all the time. It goes through my mind all the time. I'm like, what if we are a show, an experiment of some sorts in some shape or form? Like, wouldn't that be insane, guys? And it's crazy. The whole phrase heaven on earth, going back to the heaven part, it's like people say hell on earth too, but I don't want to get into that. But heaven on earth, maybe earth. Oh, think about this. What if earth is a part of heaven? It's just we don't see the other side till after we die. You know how you'll hear stories about, people experiencing heaven before they die, and they'll talk about it. And it's only to select certain people, but they like go, they don't completely die. They just seem like they are. They go into this deep sleep or whatever, and then wake up, become hypnotized or some sort of thing, or I don't know. But what if, they just experience the other side of our current life? So yeah, that phrase heaven on earth, what if heaven is earth? It's just maybe there's some like median preventing us to go to the other side. And to go to the other side, the ticket is death. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be crazy? These things are the type of things I think about all the time. I'm telling you, all the time. It's like all these things could be very true. There's nobody that's been proven that can prove otherwise. But like I said, it's all conspiracy. We don't know. Absolutely. But what if one day somebody was to prove all this? That there is another side to life. Like nothing we're experiencing today is real. Like the other side of the other side of earth, heaven, or when we go to death, when we experience death, pardon me, and go to heaven, that's what's real. Heaven is real. When earth is just a big old stage and we're being recorded for data, for I don't know, for data for future generations. Wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be crazy? Because I know our phones are listening to us. I know when I speak about something in particular, and then all of a sudden that thing I spoke about that day starts popping up on my everyday feed, or I'm just getting ads for something I've wanted to buy all of a sudden because I mentioned it while having my phone in hand. They're definitely listening to us. But what if? Yeah, definitely our technology is listening to us. But what if there are people out there, higher intelligent, actual human beings that are studying us and profiting off us in some way, shape, or form? Wouldn't that be insane? Okay, last one. Remember the Dr. Seuss It was a movie, but I think it's also a book. It was called Horton Hears a Who. I remember that book. I remember it all so well because I remember the movie came out when it was like 2008, I think, something like that. I was a kid. I was 10 years old. Always 2 years older than the year. Um, I remember watching it like, oh my gosh, I thought it was the most creative concept. Um, it was different from typical Dr. Seuss type stories, so I thought that was great. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, Horton Hears a Who is when an elephant named Horton comes across a little tiny speck, tiny, tiny, like this big, on a flower, and it turns out a whole community lives on that speck. A whole community called Whoville. And elephants are known for great hearing. And the only reason that um he figured this out is because one of the mayor of this town, I forget his name, the mayor of this town, Whoville, was communicating with Horton back and forth. Um, so yeah, what if we're just a tiny speck? I mentioned that movie for you guys. What if we're just a tiny speck on someone else's world? What if we're nothing in a whole bunch of bigger humans, or they can not even be human, just high, highly intelligent beings roaming around their world and not thinking twice about it. We're just a speck in their little world on a flower. Wouldn't that be crazy? Or what if we're the Hortons? What if we're the Hortons? We're in Horton's world, and we're the higher ups, and there are little specks in our communities that have whole communities on that speck that we would never, learn to find out because our cities are so loud and we wouldn't try. We don't have hearing of like an elephant, and we just would never know. Ooh, ooh, guys, it just causes me to wonder. Just causes me to wonder about things like this. Because wouldn't you think it was it's crazy for us to be so the world our world is so big. We can travel across countries and experience totally different lifestyles, totally different cultures. But to think the world is even bigger than that. Like there's a whole bunch we haven't seen. Excuse me. Wouldn't that be crazy? Woo! Wouldn't that be crazy? Will we know the whole truth one day? I don't ever think so. I don't. Some things I really feel like we weren't meant to know, and that's okay. But it's cool to speculate. It's cool. It's cool to dream. It's cool to have to talk about it and have other people think about it. Because, like I said, none of this stuff is proven completely false. So why not speculate? Why not put out these conspiracies and let people talk about it? Because it's cool to talk about things like this. It sure is. Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys believe in any conspiracy theories out there when it comes to reality specifically? Like, do you believe everything that happens in our lives is real? Because like I said earlier, with me, with just politics, it seems like it's a bunch of nonsense and a bunch of fakeness going on. It feels like a joke. But I don't know. I don't know if I would go to say um it's false. I think people are just liars and we're just at a bad state right now when it comes to our political parties. But when it comes to society, when it comes to our communities, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's crazy how fast our world is changing. Like in my whole lifetime, I've experienced the world change so much. And I can only imagine, people that are in their 60s, 70s, 80s witness so much change. Went from no technology to now having phones that can tell us dang near anything. Like, that's kind of scary. And to think how the world is going to be at in the next 60, 70, 80 years. Like, who is pushing this new technology through? Who is advancing us? Is it us? Is it these scientists we see on social media from time to time in our media spaces? Or is it a higher up power? That's another thing I wonder. Okay, we don't have connection to these higher ups if they're out there, right? Not that I believe. If you have a connection to an alien, please let me know in the comments. But what if our governments, our political leaders had some type of access, direct access to these people that are completely above us or maybe beneath us, just are smarter than us, advancing our technologies. And that's what is causing the rapid change. And they're getting better and better as the years go on because they're studying us and creating new stuff, since um new Lord, I'm just drawing a blank here. New potions, um new new stuff. Lord, I'm just gonna say stuff because my mind is drawing a blank. New stuff in order to get us to where we are now. Makes you wonder. Like I said, I'm just full of curiosity. I have a million questions. These are just a few of the ones that I felt like I needed to talk about today. But yeah, I like I said, I'm a Christian. I very much believe heaven and hell exist. And a lot of people put out this conspiracy that maybe heaven and hell doesn't exist. When we just die, we vanish, which would be a little scary to me because I don't know, to just die and become no more. That's insane. But if that is the case, that is the case. But I rather believe in something and it not be true. I rather believe in heaven and hell and it not be true than not believe in it and it is every time. So I'm going to believe in it till I die. I know there's not any convincing me otherwise. But like I said, what if it's closer than I think? What if it's on the other side of this median? What if I could visit heaven before death? Wouldn't that be crazy? What if people could visit heaven before death? All right, don't get me started on going back on this topic. I could pull up a whole bunch of other conspiracies I think to believe, but no, I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys believe any conspiracies? Like I said, I mentioned earlier, I really want to know. I really want. Do any of the conspiracies I said resonate with you guys? That you're like, maybe that is true, or like I really, I really don't want to seem like I'm crazy here. But I will, I've been called crazy. I don't mind being called crazy. It is what it is. There's things I've thought in past years that were outlandish that I don't think are outlandish to think now. Because like I said, our so much is changing in our world right now, and we're being misled about so many other things. So yeah, what if they're misleading us on, who we are as individuals? Wouldn't that be crazy? What if we were grown in a lab? Like the Matrix, what if we were grown in pods? And they just made it seem like we were born out of our mother's wombs. They created some programming in our parents. Or maybe we really are born out of our mother's wombs, but the moment we get a vaccination shot we're now set to do whatever it is they tell us to do. We're now programmed. We're now robots. Are we part of a bigger agenda that we have no idea that we're a part of until it's too late, or never know? Again, stuff just coming to my head. I'm trying to I was planning to end this video, but just thought after thought after thought. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we'll never know the truth. I don't think until somebody just agrees to tell the world their secrets, but I doubt that's ever gonna happen. But like I said, it's cool to talk about it. And I just want people to think, man. And yeah, because acquiring minds, they're uncontrollable minds in my eyes. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about that, guys. But last thing, actually. Um, Even though I was asking what is reality, like what is real and what's not, I want you people to really sit back and question what's real when it comes to not just, our when it comes to the earth and heaven and, the government's agendas, the elites all over the world's agendas. I want you to find out what's real within you. Are you playing a role? Do you feel like you're a puppet on your own? You feel like there's a way to cut it off? Well, I'm telling you, it is a way. You can be who you truly are meant to be. You just got to make the decision to be it. So I want you to question what your reality is when it comes to, like I said, yourself, who you hang around, who you want to be. Is all that real to you? That's all. That's all I wanted to say. Even if we're all on this earth, being studied, we need to be the best, realist people we can be on our own. Because there's no other way to live, really. Okay? All right. Enough deep talk. Enough talk for the show. I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and always comment because I love to hear you guys' opinions. All right, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.